The first is Pepper Massey, Executive Director of the Rapid City Arts Council and the Dahl Arts Center.
And also Sean Lyons, Executive Director of South Dakota Retailers Association and past President of South Dakotans for the Arts.
Hi, Pepper.
Hi there.
Good evening. See, it's that point in the night when you all say good evening back. Senator Maher, are you still here? That's what I was afraid of. The Governor's Awards for Outstanding Support of the Arts by a Business or Organization recognizes and honors the leaders who drive South Dakota's creative economy. South Dakotans for the Arts present this award with great pride in our state's creative industry and the organizations and businesses that keep it in motion. People work together with great vision and dedication, building stronger communities by developing and investing in our cultural resources, our artists, our arts, and our heritage. This creative workforce is vital, and its impact on our economy and our schools and communities is significant and growing.
Prairie Edge is a leader in showcasing the diverse talents of the artists of the Northern Plains, a business dedicated to promoting the best artwork and crafts of Native and non-Native people who draw inspiration from the beauty of their surroundings. 2 galleries display work by a wide range of artists from the area with national and international reputations for excellence. Its bookstore features works by many authors and musicians with ties to the region. The store's trading post offers all of the materials needed to create traditional art and the magnificent array of merchandise by fine crafters. Prairie Edge has stood for 30 years as a beacon for the arts in western South Dakota and helped shepherd in the renaissance presently underway in Rapid City arts. Through his vision and generosity, Ray Hillenbrand and Prairie Edge have made a positive and enduring impact on our creative economy by helping to elevate the arts and build a strong and vibrant community around them. Prairie Edge has helped establish Rapid City as a community with the arts firmly at its core.
It is an honor and pleasure to present the Governor's Award for Outstanding Support of the Arts by a Business to Prairie Edge Trading Company and Galleries, to Ray and Minnie Hillenbrand, who are accepting this award on the company's behalf. I also have to recognize my good friend and general manager of Prairie Edge, Dan Tribby. And the only reason why I have to say that is Dan is on my board of directors, so I have to behave myself this evening. But it is truly an honor to present this award to them. In all seriousness, this year's recipient truly depicts the importance of the arts and business community working together in partnership. This year's recipient truly depicts that. Ray and Minnie, would you please come forward to accept the award?
Somebody left her speech up here, so you don't mind if I read it, because I really don't know what I'm doing here. But, you know, we accept this award in a lot of humility and a lot of pride. I was looking over the list of past recipients, and I said, man, what in the world did they select us for? Because, you know, we're relatively new to South Dakota. We love it. It's our home. My wife's buried here. I'll be buried here. But we don't fit in the crowd that is on that list. In my mind, when you think of people that supported the arts as an organization, and you think of things like the John Vukarovich Foundation in Rapid City, You know, what they've done to me is mind-boggling. You awarded them, you know, that thing. But Prairie Edge was an evolution. And I think tonight it's kind of appropriate because some of your award winners here tonight were really the start of Prairie Edge. When I moved to South Dakota in 1980, I met Dale Lamphere. And Dale Lamphere had a little business called Prairie Edge. And Dale and I became partners. And we finally ended up separating, but that started that evolution. I'm very proud of what Prairie Edge stands for in lots of ways. And Sean mentioned Dan Tribby. You know, he's a big part of that, as well as the other staff that we have, because any organization, one of the only elements that make us good are the people that are involved with it and that sort of thing. And we've got the best, you know. But if I had to say why, what's the thing I'm most proud of about Prairie Edge? It's that in our people that work at Prairie Edge, the difference between Native Americans and non-Native Americans is non-existent as far as the acceptance, the camaraderie, you know, the whole involvement of each other in evolving Prairie Edge into what it is today. That makes me particularly proud because that's the way we feel. I think Dan Tribby, in another life, was obviously a Native American, you know, because he loves it, he lives it, he's respected. But that's really a very neat thing, and I thank Dale for starting to get us involved in this. Second thing is that, you know, we had a very young intern, so to speak, by the name of Ryan Meha, who worked for us while he was going to school mines. And we were his supplemental income while he did that. Ryan happens to be here tonight, and as I understand it, he's going to be the presenter after me to the next person. But we did well with Ryan. You know, we kind of nurtured him, and he went up to Isabel and ran on the Democratic ticket, got elected. Not many Democrats in western South Dakota. Well, he spent two terms as a Democrat, and he said, you know, this is dumb. So he ran as a Republican. He got elected for 2 terms. And he says, I'm getting a heck of a lot more done now than I ever did then. But it's quite unusual that it happens that those 2 people are here tonight, and in their own way, they reflect a lot of what we're all about. But I, again, want to thank you for this. I'm not going to give a long speech or a dance or anything like that, but I really appreciate your recognizing this. We're very proud of being part of the heritage of art in South Dakota. I'll tell you, Rapid City and the Black Hills, they have everything going for them. And it's just starting to, you know, blossom into what I think will be a national recognition of wonderful art in every aspect. But anyway, thank you very much. We're very proud to be here.
You know, in another life, Dan Tribby might be a Native American, but in this life, he's a biker. I don't know what you all think.
A special delivery just in from Eagle Butte, this beautiful pottery. Thank you, Larry and Wendy. You're going to learn more about this pottery. It's beautiful in its own right, but there's another incredible story here. And that leads us to tonight's Outstanding Service in Arts Education Award. Our presenters are Kathleen West, past president, South Dakotans for the Arts, and recipient of the Governor's Arts for Outstanding Service in Art Education in 1997.
And Senator Ryan Maher from District 28, representing Butte, Corson, Dewey, Harding, Perkins, and Ziebach counties.
You know, Ray, paybacks, I'm next. You know, you never give a microphone to a politician, but I had the honor, I don't know if, you know, at the time it's amazing how life comes full circle, and I'm 35 years old now, and I'm sure there's more to come, but I started out at Prairie Edge when I was a student going to college and trying to make some extra money, and Dan gave me a job, and, you know, you learn stuff. You're 18, 19 years old, very impressionable, like a sponge, and, you know, you learn stuff, you pick up stuff, and one of the things I always remember from Dan, and you got to know Dan, he walks, he's back, and all the time he's doing that, he's mumbling, pinko commies, and then there's more adjectives after that, pinko commies. So, you know, that stuck with me. So when I ever have a tough vote in the Senate floor, I always think, what Dan Tribute do? What would Dan? Oh, pinko commies, no. Okay. Anyway, with that, we better get back to the script, and I'm sorry for the diversion, but go ahead.
The Governor's Award for Outstanding Service in Arts Education is presented to an educator who has opened the doors to lifelong learning through the arts. It is, to me, the most precious of these awards. We honor the service and career of a professional of the highest caliber whose influence on our children can quite literally make all the difference in their world.
In her 27 years of teaching at Cheyenne Eagle Butte High School, Bev Rose has inspired hundreds of students. She has challenged them, she has guided them towards goals that she has helped them to imagine. Since she has encouraged and empowered them to reach those goals. Bev is an exemplary teacher and a force for excellence and success in her students' lives. Bev leads her students to use their talents and skills in community service. Their annual Empty Bowls project has raised over $20,000 for families with emergency needs. She has served as a student advisor and was named National Indian School Board Association Outstanding Teacher of the Year. Her students excel in the annual Lakota National Invitational Art Show and an event that she has helped organize and for which she has received its Community Service Award.
Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly present Bev Rose with the Governor's Award for Outstanding Service in Arts Education.
Wow, this is, I never would have dreamt that I would be here today. And I want to thank the South Dakotans for the Arts and the Arts Council for presenting me with this award, and Governor Daugaard. And congratulations to all the other recipients that are here tonight. This is my 28th year of teaching at Cheyenne Eagle Butte High School. And after I found out that I was to receive this award, I have been reflecting back over my 28 years, and I've often thought that I should be writing down all the funny things or the thought-provoking things that my students tell me. And one question that my students ask time and time again, it comes up almost every year, and the question is, Miss Rose, do you make as much money as other teachers? And I used to really get upset about that, but I know what they mean. They come to art class and they're having fun. And, you know, they're having fun, but at the same time, the students might not realize it, but they're engaged in their learning, and they're solving problems that have more than one answer, and working together and creating something new and evaluating what they have created. In this current period of educational reform, methods such as engaged learning, differentiated instruction, higher order thinking skills, and the implementation of common core standards are asking teachers to have a more hands-on types of activities where students move from being passive learners to active learners. Well, This is a place I can brag about this, but art teachers, art educators, we've been doing this for years. We've known this and we've been doing this for years. And after 28 years, I'm still having fun at my job. It's challenging work, but every day I watch my students grow creatively, and in the end, I get to see what my students have accomplished, and their talent never ceases to amaze me. My quote for this speech doesn't come from some famous artist, but rather from a 16-year-old man on Facebook after winning 2 places at the Lakota Nation Art Show. He said, "I might not be able to sing or dance, but I sure can represent my culture through my art. And it makes my heart to sing when a student is proud of his or her artistic accomplishments. And every day I feel lucky to have the job that I have. I'm also very lucky to have a school, a community, a tribe, and a state that realizes the value of its arts and artists." I want to take time to thank some very important people who have been instrumental in me being here tonight. I have known both of my nominators from the beginning of my career. Dr. Vicki Berklin, and will you please stand? Dr. Berklin is one of our fearless administrators at Cheyenne Eagle Butte. This lady has a never-ending abundance of energy and is most dedicated to our school. And my good friend, Mr. Jerry Peacock, will you please stand? A CEB computer teacher and a professional photographer. And he is here tonight with his beautiful wife, Eileen. I would also like to thank those who supported me with letters. Former student Carrie Fisher is now a nurse and a well-known artist in our community. And Carrie, will you please stand? Can't see her. Wayne Duchesneau III, who is a hard-working tribal council member. Joe LeVay Gunville, also a former student, a valuable co-worker, and a great friend. And former student Jared Borland, who is now the IT tech at our school, and as well as an innovative local rancher. And Jared, please stand. Thank you. And Mrs. Cindy McCrae, my supervisor and mentor for most of my career. I would also like to thank my family members who have traveled here today. It really means the world to me that you were able to attend. I want to thank my son, Thad, for all that you do for me. You're an inspiration to me. My older son, Walker, couldn't be here tonight. He is currently at USD and will be an arts educator in the field of music. He is an inspiration to me as well. And last but not least, I want to thank my husband, Joe. It truly takes a special person to be the spouse of an art teacher. Most people would never even guess what they have to go through. My husband is a rancher and raises and hauls rodeo bulls. A few things that he has done for me in the capacity as art teacher husband includes serving punch, picking up sticks, rewiring the kiln, finding rocks, loading the car, unloading the car, collecting turkey feathers, setting up art shows, judging art shows, firing pottery, singeing his eyebrows, making 5 gallons of chicken noodle soup, building frames, stretching canvas, scorching his ears, putting together pottery wheels, fixing the hole in the shop floor after an unfortunate art accident, and burning the ends off his mustache, and being my prom date for the last 20 years. As you can see, it takes a lot of hard work and courage to be married to an art teacher. And I want to thank you, Joe, for everything that you've done for me all these years and the support and love that you have given me. Just before Christmas break, I had 2 former students who are now attending the Institute of American Indian Art in Santa Fe come talk to the class about colleges and careers. The next day, I had a student ask the question, "Miss Rose, do art teachers make as much money as other teachers. And I said kiddingly, no, they make twice as much as other teachers. He kind of looked startled, and then he said, well, you should, Miss Rose, you should. And I believe I do. There is truly nothing like seeing kids creating art. Thank you.
Very happy.
Congratulations, Bev. And our final award for the evening is Distinction in Creative Achievement. We have two presenters. One of them is sculptor Jim Maher.
And also South Dakota visual artist, George Prisby Sevish. Please come forward.
Where are you guys? Oh, there you
When Kristen called me a couple of weeks ago to ask if I would take part in the ceremony tonight, I was deeply honored. And more than that, I was very eager to come, because if anyone owes a debt of gratitude to Dale Lamphere, it would be me. I had the great good fortune to be able to work very intensely with Dale for about 4 years, right at the beginning of my career. So much of what I know and use every day, I learned at that time. He generously shared his years of experience and the knowledge he had gained on his own or through others. He was always glad to help and never jealous of his gifts. All the myriad techniques involved in producing sculpture, and there were some things that we just figured out on the fly. Something that always impressed me, and that I think of often when my own back is against the wall, was Dale's resourcefulness and determination. He was never at a loss and always confident of finding a way to do something, even if it had never been done before, or maybe more often, if there was no time to do it. But even more importantly than that, I learned that all of this technique was employed in service to a vision, that every line, every stroke made in the clay or the metal is a vital part of the whole. I don't know of anyone who has a gift and a sensitivity for design, for holistic concepts like Dale's. It permeates everything that he does. I've come to know that the most profound learning arises not from the accumulation of specific, discrete parts of knowledge, but rather when you're able to see new possibilities, when new horizons are open to you, which had not before been imagined. That's what Dale Lamphere did for me. Dale, thank you very much, and congratulations. I'm proud to be here tonight. Thank you.
Well, I know we should have rehearsed because I was going to say much of those same things. There are many ways to judge the success of a career. One of them, one measure, is the respect of one's peers. And Dale, you certainly have achieved that. On this night of bestowing honors, you have honored our state, you have honored the profession of artist, and you've honored all of us who have been privileged to see your work. And more than anything, you have honored us by allowing us to call you friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Dale Claude Lamphere.
I certainly appreciate the very kind and generous words of my good friends. And I'm very honored to receive this award for creative achievement. Today, in the state senate, Lieutenant Governor Michaels said something that really made me pay attention. He referred to me as a state treasure. And I'm wondering, after a lifetime as a self-employed artist, Governor, is there a pension that comes with that? Is that anything like that? Oh, okay. Okay, thought I'd check. Well, I look back on 44 years of laboring diligently and happily in the arts, and I first think of the people who've made it possible. The people are all on the leading edge of their fields, and I would not be here today without the support and the mentoring of Ruth Brennan, John Day, Charlotte Carver, Dennis Holub, and of course my wife, Jane Murphy, and many, many others who provided critical encouragement and helped create the climate where artistic risks and opportunities were possible. Sculpture is often a team effort, and the process is long and complex, particularly in large-scale work. I would not be here today if it weren't for Jim Maher and Tom Troppel and John Lopez and dozens of other talented and generous souls who helped with the process. And I would not be here today without Chuck Lean, Ray Hillenbrand, Ep Howe, Stan Adelstein, and many others who've honored me with their patronage, and they supported my creative habit. Thank you all so much. Your thoughts, efforts, and generosity have made my life immeasurably better. Thank you. Oh, I paused a bit too long, apparently. I do have a few other comments. I'll try to make them brief. I can see the eagerness in the audience here. You may have read about the world journey that I took in my college years. And it was during that life-changing trip that I began to understand the importance of distilling my life experience. Each culture spoke to me through the objects that individuals had created. These bits of evidence revealed who these people were, what they valued, and how their paradigm defined their existence. It is everyone's unique expression of sense of place, human connections, and how our past relates to our future that adds to the cultural tapestry of our country and the world. For me, life on the prairie and in the hills has provided me an endlessly rich environment to pursue my art. The forces of weather, the beauty of the land and grasses and stone, and the strength of character of the people have all had their influence. In my sculpture, I try to distill to its essence the natural beauty all around us. I have bloomed where I was planted. Young artists will ask me, well, who am I to assume that my vision, my work has importance? And I tell them that that is for the future to decide. Their concern is to speak through their media and to create. I tell them to discipline themselves enough to believe in their own vision. I tell them that old adage that the difference between genius and the lack of it is in the doing. You've heard the facts about the economic and educational importance of the arts and the creativity it fosters. And creativity is like fertilizer. You spread it on any discipline, science, business, art, and it will make it grow. creativity reaches to the root for answers and solutions. It is always the creative edge of a society that leaves evidence of its existence, of its contributions. The growing edge of architecture, art, music, literature, dance, and thought. Each of us adds to this tapestry in our own way when we trust our creative impulses. And it is as important here in South Dakota as anywhere in the world. Our job as artists, innovative business people, and politicians is to be that leading edge. I know for me, and for all of us, we're not done. Some of our best work lies ahead. Thank you all so much.
Congratulations, Dale. Thank you, Governor Daugaard. You know, there is a support group for all of Dale Lamphere's service providers. We've been doing quotes, and we have another one for your quiz and everything, but the Dale's famous quote is, "Hey, you guys, can you do me a favor?" Because it's always the last minute. And for whatever reason, because he's so nice, everybody just does it. But there is. I didn't know if you knew the whole support group thing. We hadn't really shared that information publicly until now. We do have our last quote. Oh, you have something? Okay. We have our last quote quiz question so that somebody gets to take home the fabulous artwork that Donna Fink made. And so Paul is going to read 3 quotes by painters.
3 painters, and I got to say I'm very impressed. These are beautiful words by painters. One of them, of course, from South Dakota. See if you can guess who it is. You're playing in the home stretch here for the prize. Quote A, every good painter paints what he is. B, the painter must enclose himself within his work. He must respond not with words, but with painting. C, one could easily turn to become a social protest painter. One is by a South Dakotan, and I'll read them again. A, every good painter paints what he is. B, the painter must enclose himself within his work. He must respond not with words, but with painting. C, one could easily turn to become a social protest painter.
You guys ready? Do you need one more second? How many people thought it's A? Who thinks B? Who thinks C? I love this.
I do too. Well, the answer is C, and the painter is none other than Oscar Howe. Oscar Howe said one could easily turn to become a social protest painter.
And the other artists were, I forgot who that was. Okay, so does every table have a clear winner, or do we have some ties? Okay, we have a couple ties. We have a very quick and dirty tiebreaker. Paul is going to think of a number between 1 and 10. Whoever is tied, only the people who are tied, will choose a number, and your scorekeeper will write it down. The winner will be either the person closest or the person below. So for example, if the number is 5 and somebody's 6 and somebody's 4, 4 will win. Okay, so anyone who's tied, number between 1 and 10, scorekeepers write them down, and Paul, what's the number?
The number is 4. 4.
Okay, so that should do it. Everybody figured it out? Do you want to do the thank you?
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. What an honor to be on the stage with Governor Daugaard, also with my all-time favorite dinosaur.